What's up, everybody? You are listening to the Think Big podcast. I'm your host, Ayelet Polonsky, also known as your manifestation mentor. This podcast is designed to help you create a manifestation mindset by learning how to think big. You'll learn how to use your thoughts to co-create your reality. Let's get into today's episode. One of my all-time favorite books is The Choice by Dr. Edith Eger. She talks about her experience as a child in Auschwitz. She saw her mother stand in line, headed to the gas chambers. She had a German officer tell her, "It's time to speak about your mother in past tense." Today, in her 90s, she works as a therapist who teaches that we have the choice to either be a victim or to be free. A good definition of being a victim is when you keep the focus outside yourself, when you look outside yourself for someone to blame for your present circumstances or to determine your purpose, your fate, your worth. Dr. Eger never allowed herself to become a victim. You have a choice every morning to ask one of two questions. Am I going to be a victim of circumstance or a creator of it? The victim asks, why me? The creator asks, what now? One question is debilitating, while the other is loaded with the possibility of manifestation. You have the freedom to choose how you react or respond to anything. I've walked in the alleyways of the Dharavi slums in Mumbai and seen people go from poverty to riches. I've traveled the Amazon jungle and visited tribes where people who have limited resources create thriving villages. And I know people who have been in and out of rehab who've turned their addiction into their lifelong mission, their purpose. However, I've also seen kids born into extreme wealth who commit suicide. People with beautiful husbands or wives come to resent their partners, and parents with amazing children look for what's wrong with their children. A victim waits for someone to make them happy. They wait for something to happen outside of them in order to find inner peace. See yourself as a person who creates your own reality, regardless of your circumstances. That mindset will set you free from mental slavery. The funny thing is, it's the victims, the ones who say, why me, that ask God for the most. It's the people who aren't helping themselves or others that ask, God, why aren't you showering me with wealth or a loving spouse? My question is, what is that person doing to deserve all that? If you want to manifest, you cannot be a victim to your circumstance. The Zohar states that when there is sadness below in the physical world, you create sadness above in the spiritual realm. Whatever frequency you're operating on, that is what's being created in the higher dimensions, in the quantum field, so to speak. And that is what you will end up manifesting here on earth in your physical reality. Our great Jewish sages say in Sefer HaChinuch that we are directly affected by our behaviors. Our hearts and thoughts always follow after the actions that we do, whether good or bad. For the heart is drawn after behavior. What does that mean? It means that if someone is acting like a victim, their emotions will be directly impacted. And if you feel a low vibratory emotion, such as fear, sadness, anger, resentment, guilt, that is what you will be creating in the world of manifestation, hence co-creating more bad feeling circumstances in your life. It's time to break that vicious cycle. Life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you. If someone accuses you of doing something, the more upset and frustrated they become, the more you should say to yourself, I am getting calmer with every attack. I do not need to let this affect me. The Baal Shem Tov used to say that when someone abuses you and causes you suffering, you have to make every effort to love him even more than before. Nobody can make you feel inferior without you giving them permission. I'll leave you with a powerful quote by Viktor Frankl. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he says that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms. To choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. How are you going to go from victim to victorious? If you enjoyed this episode and would like more manifestation inspiration, tune in every Monday for a new episode. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on an episode. What you get out of this show means the world to me, so I invite you to leave an honest review. If you want more, you can follow me on social media at Ayelet Polonsky. I also have a number of virtual courses to offer if you're ready to take this material to the next level and start embodying a manifestation mindset. I teach you how to heal past trauma, experience the most joy out of life, and rewrite your future so you can feel good more often. Simply head on over to ayeletpolonsky.com for a variety of resources you can start taking advantage of immediately. See you next week. And as always, think big and happy manifesting.